I do not even remember where I documented it.
Oh no, we had a CSV that we located, didn't we? And then you did some checking of, you tried to use pins from the CSV to output digital high and low.
Input digital, so I had it. Yeah, I was trying to check which pins could use as inputs.
What was the starting point? What was
Like
the
how I figured that out?
No, there was a CSV that you started with, right?
Yeah.
Or, and that's
Oh,
on
no, no, so
Beaglebone Blue Wiki.
you're referring to the pins, like all the pin names of the Beaglebone, on the Beaglebone?
Yeah.
So I don't remember how I generated that, but I think I found just a list of the pin names, and after that I generated a bunch of them myself, and assuming most of them wouldn't exist, and then I just tested from there. If that makes sense.
So I've got a convention of like there's for the encoders, there's E1, and then you have like 4 pins within E1, right? So there's E1, and you can do dot or underscore, like pin 3, and we can map that back to the name and the options. So E1 3 is GPIO 3 underscore 18.
I see the.
Let me.
I see the.
So there's this JavaScript data structure I've got in here to define the pin mapping.
David, I remember I got it from Adafruit's BBIO library.
Right, and I've tried to make that the same. So we tried to get the Adafruit BBIO library and the Bone script going to be the same. But for all these pins, like because it's to map the P whatever name to the names of what they are in these headers. You can use this table or this data structure. I don't know if there's a better way. I'm sure there is. I think I've done this about 15 billion different ways.
Don't you have a interactive web page for the blue?
There is one.
Does that give you pin information? Oh yeah, I remember it being limited to a few ports, but man, that would be awesome if it had. If you could plug in, if I could plug in one of our harnesses, attach an LED to the end of it, ground in power, and make our own resistor, and then go to that web page and activate a pin. Oh my gosh, we
can work on it. It's the BBUI though is not. I think its scope was actually written by the Tufts guys, and then updated. I mentioned the peer use speak before. And, anyway, if we can narrow the scope and work on it together, we can create that web page that just dynamically updates the status of each pin and displays it. It's not that hard, but it's just kind of like confining the scope a little bit.
not to do everything.
Yep. So like P30, was there like P, like we were looking at one in particular, P936, right? The equivalent on a Pocket Beagle is 235, but the first thing is it's analog input 5.
So how do I find?
So if I want A and a 0 right there for the so the name on Beaglebone Blue is just called ADC pin 3. Right, because pin 1 I think is ground, pin 2 is the 1.8 volts, and then pin 3 is AIN 0. So if I had a potentiometer, I could plot that pretty easy. I just need an analog input that I can can change dynamically in order to plot this. Because what this routine does is it uses bone script. It's saying read. It uses the analog read function to read P936, which I can honestly change this to whatever. Like I could use ADC pin 3 there, and it'll figure out that that's. Or it could use analog input 0.
Okay. You want me to get you a?
If we had a potentiometer, I've got wires. If we just have a potentiometer, that'd be great.
I think I have. We're gonna.
I just need somebody to. So these things are super helpful. I think I skipped the slide on hardware wiring.
What is that?
This is everything.
Yeah.
It's got a speaker.
That's all electronic. This is from old degree one.
That's your
So the-
that's a new 210 kit.
I'm gonna get stuck here.
So this little Renaissance Robotics wire jumper kit, right? This is the magic thing you need to be able to wire up new stuff. I assume you've found these already.
We didn't find the kit. I wish I knew about the kit. Instead
Of going and buying, so there's a link to accessories and where to kind of buy different accessories that we are known to hook up to different things.
Your pigtail. Are your wires colored using logical fashion?
No, they're not.
Our I2C had them
They're-
all reversed, and I made the students pull them out of there and switch them so the black was around.
They're
fry enough
totally-
stuff anyway. So.
They're totally wrong because like blue is so this one blue is 3.3 volts, green is ground, and then
Ours was just as bad.
and what's the first, so that's 3.3 ground, and then looks like white is going to be analog 0.
So do you need
So
some?
where's the potentiometer? Can I get it to I don't know if I have enough leads on this.
I have
The other ones I found really super helpful are these, the ones that are the, actually if you just have straight pin leads, that's probably going to be easier.
I mean male.
Yeah, male to male pins. Because I've got this other set of jumpers that come from Seed. And they look like this. And off the other end, they have 100 mil spaced pin headers that connect up to Grove modules. I don't know if who's heard of Grove modules before, but there's this, they have a whole mess of different sensors. So the 6-pin versions only bring out 4 of the wires. That's a big limitation. But that's still pretty useful for a whole lot of stuff. So unfortunately I can't do real SPI devices, but I can do this potentiometer. So I can't line this up. More experience.
Is that the 6-pin?
It's a 6-pin.
Is there debris in there or something?
I don't think so. I think I just need to be a little bit more assertive.
Insert it.
assertive. I need a third one. Because this actually, I need to produce a differential voltage, right? So, let's see.
Positive. Ground.
So the first, it's positive, okay.
Okay.
No, I need tape. I'm gonna pull up the pinout deck. That's not it. There we go. That's not the one I like. That's not the one I like. That's not the one I like. Alright. Yeah, it doesn't tell you. Anyway, it's going to be. So black is. Well, it doesn't even matter which order we do. We just need to have this suited to on the outside. But the first pin is power, the second pin is ground, and then ADC starts. There's 6, because the Grove connector only brings out 4.
I mean, they're labeled 1, 2, 3,
Oh.
but there's 4 pins, so I don't know. Maybe the both of them.
Oh, well, that would be why I just reset the board. Because apparently those two,
You dropped the pin.
the middle two are shorted, yeah. I shorted one of the pins. Oh, tell me I didn't fry the whole board. Wow.
Oh, no, you fried your computer.
Wow. Okay, don't wire things live like that.
Should have said something. I didn't know about these.
Yeah, I didn't realize the two pins in the middle were shorted together. So I just totally fried the chip.
So, with this, how can we test, in your case, the LEDs aren't coming on, but we fried boards and we wanted to know, did we fry it, did we damage it, or did we do nothing? So,
I have never done that before.
Really?
Okay, so apparently that was still shorting somehow?
maybe we should test my device like that.
Toasted mine.
It booted. I'm not dead.
I was gonna say I've done that too many times.
Yeah, I
always
wouldn't have
survive
thought it.
eventually, so.
I mean, the power rail, if it sees a high current condition, the PMIC will shut it off. So it
Yeah.
tries to keep it from blowing off by shutting it down. But I'm trying to figure out if I'm reading this right, I should be.
Remember to get mine?
2 opposite ends of the potentiometer, and then the center tap. Let me just try it again, right? How much sense does that make? That's bad. I plugged it back in and it did it again, but removing it, it actually came back up.
Well, do we need to see which one of these is actually the?
You want to just do the balance then? Yeah, I mean.
That would be a really smart thing to do.
Here, so I'll make your little pins.
Later.
Oh, he was basically, what part, what part were you referring to? That you wanted to
Is there a 10K? Can I just switch to the 10K?
No. I mean, I don't know if you can do it on a robot. Like a little, see,
I'm less worried about trying to debug it as today. I'm just trying to
And I have a video.
analyze it. then I'm just trying to get it to work.
20K. That's 1.2. That's 7. Okay. 1.2
So-
plus 7.8 is 10.
Okay, I'm just measuring between the green and the blue.
Green and the blue.
That doesn't, that could, you're right, because the first two, between these two, it should be 10K, between the first two. Between the blue and the yellow, it should be 10K.